All right, what's up, Gen family? What's the word? What's the word? We have a special guest in the house. Who do we have in the building tonight?
What's going on, y'all? My name is Adrian B, also known as Little Miss Jersey.
Come on now.
I'm a media coordinator and overall journalist within Jersey.
A big dog out here, if y'all didn't know, man. I promise you. She's a big dog out here. I want to know the story, the background, the upbringing. Please enlighten me, because I want to know.
Okay. Kind of a long story, because, it's my entire life.
I get you.
But I started off in high school at a tech school. So my trade in high school was entertainment technology at BCIT. And I studied that for 4 years. And before that, I was just always a busybody. So I've always been in like sports, extracurricular activities, arts and entertainment.
On the yearbook and shit. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, see, look. Yep.
Yes. High school, I was class president. I was cheerleading and softball. I've always been that person. And my teachers would be like, "You going to be something great one day." And I never figured out how I was going to get there, because in all reality, like, I'm not just a little princess, I'm not one of them, right? So I have this mischievous side that does get in trouble, does like to be rebellious, does like to do the opposite of what, people would tell me sometimes. So I never really like saw it until, I really started taking myself seriously. So after high school, I went to Montclair State. Shout out to the Red Hawks or whatever.
Okay.
And I went for television and digital media. And I was always a social butterfly, which means I was not really a bookworm. Like, I'm smart.
Gotcha,
I'm intellectual. Yeah. But when it comes to studying and taking tests, that's not my strong suit. No. So
I was like that with school, period.
Yeah. I always kept my A's and B's because I wanted to get that report card, shmoney.
Okay.
You get a little $2, $5 here for every A and B. But overall, I always found it so much more easier to talk to people, to connect with people, and to like hear their stories. And that's just something I started doing. So when I was on campus at Montclair State, I was siphon, because I'm a pothead too, y'all. Disclaimer. Go 420. So every time I would be in a siph with my friends, we would have these great conversations. And I would just keep asking questions back to back. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just start going live on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, with a different friend, different topic, and we just go and talk about it.
That's fire. And
that was before Instagram had like the consecutive stories that will allow you to continuously record. So I had to stop and start, stop. So, but I did that very consistently. I was interviewing like 5 people a day and then going live later on that night.
I remember that. That was Wednesday era was crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how late I caught it. I don't know. But that's how I became an actual fan, because like what you did with your platform is like, of course, I love that we're getting knowledge about relationships, but it's giving new perspectives. And I think that's what's different. Everybody's feeling comfortable just expressing themselves and just chilling, be like, yo, this is what I feel about women should do more, and then women vice versa. So it's like, so I just chip in just to be like, okay, well, what she got up here today? Yeah. So it's like, so I was definitely like a heavy watcher. Like I was like, yo, because like when I came in this, I always wanted to be like, okay, who can inspire me? Who can I learn from? Who can I? So as I was seeing that, and I'm just like, yo, she's always going live. Like, and then I'm just like, but I will always catch it like late. So I'm like, okay, thankfully Instagram start letting you repost the live. So I'm just like, damn, this is dope. Like, this is dope. And it's just on live. This is not even like a setup. This is just everybody at home. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta come crazy. I gotta start going up. And this, like, Gym Family, this was like one of the first females that gave me opportunity, because I'll never forget, she DM'd me one day. She was like, yo, you want to do like interviews? I'm not gonna lie to you. When you DM me that, I'm like, is this shit real right now? Like, I didn't know. Like, cause like I started in the front seat of my car, so like I didn't know like my content would reach people to be like, yo, I see something in you. Like, you want to just like go out there and do an interview? I'm like, damn. And I admit, like, a part of me didn't believe in myself at that time still, because I was still fresh. Everything's still new. I'm like, let me get some time, because I want to come to you professional. I want to come right. I want to come new. And I'm just like, damn, like, just let me get some time. Let me get some time. And I ain't like, I don't know how I came off to you, but I was just like, damn, like, did I miss opportunity?
No.
But then I'm like, nah, I gotta keep going crazy.
No.
So, yeah.
That's the thing with me. I don't think that you can ever miss an opportunity, because if you miss it that first time, it's always gonna come back. Like what's for you is always going to reappear in your life through many different forms and facets. So at that time, I think it was from you coming on and interacting and engaging with, because as a real person, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. I'm like this in real life. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, fuck the app. Shit. It's like, no, you're a real person. No, so when you were engaging in the conversation, I'm like, you want to do interviews because it was good. You know what I mean? Like, that's real. Yeah. So you never know. But I didn't really know that. I didn't really know
that was a little insider. Yeah, because I'm just like, yo, I love the opportunity, but I'm just like, am I ready for this opportunity?
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm my biggest critic. I'm just like, I'm not always like down on myself, but I'm very realistic when it comes to this. Like, so if I'm not ready for something, I'm not scared to admit it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just work myself until I'm ready.
Okay.
So that's what it was. What's your day to day like? Cause like I know your hands is in a lot of pots, so it's like,
man,
like how you stay level? Because I know you recently came back and was like, yo, I'm coming back fresh just off of getting a break. So how was that for you, and how do you stay level?
It's been a process. And the answer to this question is still being thought out, figured out, lived out, because life is so spontaneous. I don't really have a definite schedule every day. Right. The most that I had, like a formal schedule, was when I was in school. And since graduating, I've had to make that for myself. So, and then the jobs that I'm working for right now, like, I'm in a leadership position, right? Okay. So it's different if you put in an application, they give you a schedule, to be at work early and what time you get off. But the thing is, when you start working for yourself, or you have a bit more control over your career, you make your own schedule.
Got you.
Right? So like, if there are things that you have to get done, your deadline. If it's not done by that deadline, it's basically like a failed course. You know what I mean? And this time around, it's in the real world. So you could lose your job. Somebody can replace you. That's one of the things that I've learned in this industry, is just being and understanding how to stay pivotal and always on your pivot. Every day is different for me. Usually when people ask me to show up and be there, I'm there. I could put it into my schedule if it's 48, 72 hours in advance. Gotcha. If I say I'm going to be there, I could be there. Or if I say I can support, I'm going to try to support. It's a little different now, because after the pandemic, like, a lot more things have become virtual. Right. So you don't really have to be there without being there, but your presence is still needed. Your thought process is still needed. There are so many things that are still needed in that moment. And you have to make sure that you're together and well prepared for all of those opportunities.
Yeah.
I was going to touch on the fact of like staying ready too, because for some people, right, like Marcus is saying, like, if I don't know how to do it, I'm not going to give it a try until I know that I'm ready. But me and my rebellious nature, I'm going to say, get out there and try it. Because there's no better practice than experience itself.
Right.
So when you mess up those few times, if you make mistakes, usually when you make mistakes and you get scrutinized for it, that's going to ingrain in your head like, oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing for sure next time around. So I think off the strength of like how we met or started engaging with each other off of social media, that's where I was coming from. Yeah. It's like, if you ready to do interviewing, like, I'm here. We even talked about studio equipment now that I think about it. It was like, yo, you got to do this. We were just sharing the wealth type of thing. Yeah. So
that was dope. And I like, this is what I got in it for, because I was in school. I was doing culinary. I was supposed to have like my own little restaurant and shit right now. So it's like, at this time, I don't know how I got in it. I guess just COVID just trapped me in the crib, and just my thoughts just kept ringing. I'm just like, I got to let this out some way. And then next thing you know, I'm a podcaster.
It works.
It worked. But it's just like, yo, once I got into it, I seen how deceiving it was. I seen how greedy people are in this podcast world. And it's just like, now I got to not only set a tone, build a legacy. And not only build the legacy, build a foundation, a part of the legacy. So it's not just, it's so much more than just recording. That's why I try to tell people, like, this is a life story. This is like a timeline of events just for people to know you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you gotta it's not always about hot topics and what's going on right now. Like, you gotta really set a tone for yourself in this, and staying ready. Like you said, like, I'm always ready to record, but it's just like, I know, like, what I want my name to be attached to. So, guys, that's why I say be better than me, because I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I'm ready. But at the end of the day, I would encourage an outsider to be like, yo, go for it. Like, I wouldn't tell nobody, like, bro, just wait till you're ready. No, because, opportunities don't last long.
They don't.
At all.
They don't, especially in this industry.
I could have missed out on $1 million deal for that. Like, you feel me? Just imagine if she was like, yo, I had a contract for you, some deal. Like, damn, you said you wasn't ready. I was like, oh, man, you feel me? So how important is mental health? Because this is a huge topic right now. And I know, like, a lot of men don't feel appreciated, but women, women, the lifeline of it all. So, like, how important is mental health for women?
It's equal, honestly. I don't even put a gender to it. I don't look at gender too much because I have a twin. I have a twin brother.
Got you.
So growing up, it was like, yeah, I'm a female, I'm a girl, but I have a boy who is my same age, literally the opposite of me, you know, as far as gender roles go. But we're the same in so many other facets. But overall, mental health is super important because if your cup is not full, there's no room for overflow. And being in this industry, it does take a team effort to do that. I'm going to be real with y'all. If I didn't have the support system or just the blessings that I have in my life overall, I don't think I would be in this industry today. I mean, I love conversation. I love talking to people. But the people that I'm surrounded by always have a way of reminding me effortlessly of certain key factors in my life that allow me to keep going. Like, people may notate certain things or give me a compliment or just say certain things to me. And I'm like, yo, how did you even know that I was going through that? Or because I'm not in this industry, when you show your emotions too much, or just regardless of your gender, if you're the type of person that doesn't really show their emotions or talk about like your silent battles,
right,
people would never really know what's going on because you're poker face.
One dare look at you.
Like, in this industry, as an interviewer, you have to, you're trained to have this poker face, to not show certain emotions, because you could be talking with anybody and they say some wild shit. So you got to be prepared for those instances, right?
That's a fact.
And that lesson in itself, once you learn how to do that, there's no going back. Anybody can say anything to you, and you could just keep your stature, keep your posture, and like play it cool. And when it comes to mental health specifically, sometimes you will have those days where it's uncontrollable.
Got you.
Where, like, if your cup, or if you're just ready to explode and you've been holding in so much and it's not the right time, place, or person to be speaking to, it could come out very wrong.
Very wrong.
And very unintended, because in this industry, what you do and who you are is the same thing as your business and everything else. That, like, your brand is you. You know what I mean? So it makes it hard to have those emotions or to really process what's going on in your mental, because you are focused on the work and you're wanting to be perfect and proficient in that type of way, if that makes sense. So it's really big, but you have to take your time. You have to understand your process is your process, and you can't let nobody else rush you or tell you what to do with your own life, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So. I learned that your talent has to become a system, because a lot of people can have like talent and be a genius, but can't create a system for it to be effective.
Yeah.
And I've seen that you have a whole system of talent, and I'm creating this system of talent, but it's just like, yo, you gotta have the people, you gotta have the drive, you gotta have like the criticism and the discipline, because this is not easy. Like, I know a lot of days I don't want to come to the microphone, and I don't, because like you said, my brand is me. So if I put out something very negative, it's going to attract very negative people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to deceive my brand just for a moment, or just for some temporary happiness, or a couple subscribers that might just delete themselves after I switch up on them. So I'd rather everything be genuine. And I think that's the toughest part in this generation now, with just finding those genuine people, those genuine folks that's gonna really just be down and say, yo, right or wrong, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of us in this day and age is searching for that, because we didn't get it from our families. So we put all this trauma dump on our friends, relationships, everything, because we still trying to find that love in something. People trying to start podcasts because they want to find love in something. Just keeping up with the program because they want to find something just to say, hey, I can keep up with the Joneses too. It's worth more.
That's one of my dislikes about this new age, if that makes sense. Like, not enough people have faith in themselves. You know, like, instead of searching for it in external places and spaces, things, places and people, whatever you want to call it, like, people have to get to a point where they recognize that they have everything in them. Like, no one else can satisfy you how you can satisfy you. It doesn't make sense for me to tell my friend to pick up my cup and tell me to take a sip of something when I could do that for you. Feel me? I'm not finna tell you what to do when I'm capable of doing it for myself. I feel like minding your business has changed definition wise.
True that.
In today's society, like minding your business today is like making sure that your comparison is still thriving in regards to like what everybody else is doing, instead of just saying like, oh, well, was I better than what I did yesterday? That's all that matters. Why you open up your timeline and just start comparing what you doing today to somebody else doing today, you know? Like, why are you comparing what you have or what somebody else don't have? Like, you have everything within you. Sometimes you have to do with what you have so that what you have is being built on and not someone else's foundation, if that makes sense. I'm not going to take my bricks to somebody else's house.
That's a fact.
No, they for me.
That's a fact.
You might be able to have one. You can have it, but I'm not going to take my brick and start building your house. Like, I got to build my own, you know? And in this industry, it's really hard to do that because, again, you have to recognize that you are a reflection not only of yourself but other people, and then how other people treat you too. Right.
And you also a prize, so put yourself on a pedestal.
Period.
And that way others can reflect that, because if you don't honor yourself, how can we?
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Other mirrors don't look in other mirrors. They understand that they have all that they need to be. Like, your path is for you. If you're meant to do this, then do that. You know, if you're meant to do podcasting, then do podcasting. If you're meant to be an engineer, be an engineer. But you don't have to just start certain things just because you don't have an outlet for yourself, if that makes sense. You could do that if it's genuine to you and you have a purpose and calling for that. You feel me? Don't misinterpret my words. That's now. Follow your purpose. But I'm saying, if you're going to do that, put your all into it and know that that's not the only avenue that you're good in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like this career, this like lane of career is still man-based? Like, as far as just media and like, this is a man career. This is like, cause it used to be like that, to where like women didn't feel like enough. And it's just like, they just bypassed us. Then it went from that to complexion of skin. Okay. And then I just felt like we just kept raising the bar, and it's just like, no, you guys are the gift. Yeah. We need you guys. So it's like, I don't know. So I just want to like ask someone, especially a female who is in the media, is like, do you still have glimpse of that? Like, just,
I feel like what works for you is what works for you. Like, I used to be a camera operator starting off early in my career, and I recognized it wasn't for me because, number one, y'all, I'm 4'11". Half these cameras be taller than me. Sometimes I can't even reach the actual televised cameras because they are way taller than me. Like, my viewfinder, I'm breaking my neck to look at, and I don't like that feeling, you know? And then it got to a point where people would just literally book me for dates too, as a female. So if I wasn't responding to them personally, they would come through my business outlet requesting for my services, show up for the services, and they're trying to take me out on a date personally. Exactly. People are crazy. They're weird.
Whoa.
I've had instances like that.
Wait, what?
I've had instances where people, you know, I'm doing services for people, and then after that, they don't want to pay me. It's been a whole 9 yards. People will literally try all they can. But now I recognize, number one, I'm not doing that. My height is, I'm not straining my back. I used to literally have tripod on this shoulder, camera on this shoulder, you know, my Zoom recorder in this hand. Like, it was just too many bags for me. So it got to a point where I was like, all right, it doesn't mean that I can't sharpen this skill.
Right.
I still have the credibility to be able to teach and lead others through this avenue, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for me.
Gotcha.
So what people were asking of me is what I catered to, because that's where the benefit for me came from, and that's led to where I am today.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, females, get in the field, man.
Yeah, yo. Y'all gotta get out there.
We need y'all.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody worry about no skin complexions and all that now. It's it's so easy to just hate on the woman. I've noticed that now. Like, it's just so easy to judge. It's so easy to just come forth for them. And it's like, dude, like, do you realize how crazy the male side look? Like, we
I
out
think
here
that's where we are now.
bad.
I think it's
bad out here.
We've been revealed and enlightened with all this information now, you know, because for, like you said, you're right. For so long, we were the targets. We were the easy black sheep, or just black male to go to and be like, you're a bitch, you wailing, you emotional, get out your fucking feelings. You know, now it's like, oh, but you sound like a bitch too, nigga. What you talking about?
Right.
Yeah. What you say? Say that again.
The table has turned, fellas.
Which one of your niggas gonna say that? Which one of your niggas gonna back you up on that? And the niggas be like, I don't know what he talking about.
Right.
Now that is an epidemic that's on the rise too. It's just accountability on that spectrum, and that might be a little bit of, you know, a battle for our community, for black and brown. But you know, we're gonna overcome that too.
Yeah, man. We gotta, like you said, look ourselves in the mirror, man, and really just, like, I ain't saying down yourself, just see what you can be better at, what you can become more of, and just like, yo, don't put that hatred out there because you don't like what you see in the mirror, or you don't like a feature, or you don't like this person. It's more than that, bro.
Right.
Like, love lasts forever, but they gonna remember that love. They can still feel the love if you leave it. So it's like, yo, I try to tell people, man, like, leave love. Leave love.
That's if they know it, though. That's if they know it. You know, a lot of people.
I'm gonna preach something they never felt.
Yeah, like, you can't ask people to provide for what they've never had, and we can't be closed-minded anymore. Like, I've always operated with the level of optimism all the time. So people always just look at me and be like, you always so happy. You always got something positive and nice to say. And it's like, well, bitch, fuck you. Go be bitter somewhere else. But it's a real thing, though. Like, you really do have to consider other people.
For sure.
You know, just because you know something doesn't mean that they may know it. And what they know it to be may be different from you, but that's fine. You know, we don't have to wear the same outfit. We don't, for us to be friends. Like,
that's a fact.
We can have differences just to agree to disagree and be fine. Like, people have a right to be different. You don't have to force people to be within this societal view.
Yeah,
like,
and go as slow as you need to. There's no rush on this life. Even though I know we saying now, like, yo, time is ticking. We pushing 30. It's only 30, guys. Like, I wanted to, like, bring that to the table too, at least with the Jen family, because, like, I've been hearing this a lot. Like, damn, bro, we pushing 30. We pushing 30. Why are we, like, even though I've been in the argument myself, because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm almost there. But I've learned that it does more bad than good. Yeah. Because once we think ahead like that, you
limiting yourself.
We limit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You already put a threshold on you to have to perform between parameters. Like, oh, I'm about to be 30. I'm running out of time. And when people who are 60 will tell you, I just got started today. How you 30 running out of time? And somebody who's 90 is at the gym working out,
doing their thing.
Doing their thing. I feel like that's a thing for us to also recognize too, is that there are people who are ready to pass the baton. Meaning, like, they've already started the play. Now we gotta finish and run it up and figure out how they started that to begin with in order to take over for them as the next gen, as the older generation is out the door. You know, they're looking for us to take over. The more that we aren't willing to take over the load, or don't have the skills and necessities to take over the load, they're worried. So it's like, you can't think about it like that, because somebody could literally be passing an heirloom down to you, and then you're going to have to do greatness with it. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. And that's why I don't blame a lot of the youngins out here now, because I know a lot of y'all really don't come from nothing. Yeah. But I just want y'all to know, coming from nothing is not the prize.
It's not.
We can't stop.
It's 2023.
Because all you're going to do is just keep passing on nothing.
It's too easy. It's literally 2023. You don't want to be embarrassed in 2023 acting like you couldn't do something for yourself. There's nothing more embarrassing than somebody coming around and being like, you couldn't find a remote, it's right here. You couldn't find this. It's the same concept. Like, don't make me get up and show you myself, because if I do, then it's really not going to be available to you. It's that same thing. You either can go out, find it, do the research. We got Google. We got all different search engines. We got Chat GPT that will literally explain it to you in layman's terms.
No excuse.
Back in the day, they had to go to the library. They had to get up early. Get your ass up at 5:30. Go find that book. Read through 1,000 pages. You can't search through keywords. You have to read the entire thing in order to have a synopsis. Like, that was real hard work. We don't really have to work that hard nowadays. The only thing we have to work hard on is knowing all of the psychological advances we've come along. Like, we've like gotten to know along the way, if that makes sense. Like, we know more intellectually now than they did before, spiritually now than they did before. They didn't have the information in the research, but they went out and found it. We have the information in the research. We not willing to go look for it, but we just dwelling in our heads all day. It's weird. Like, we can't reverse that cycle. That just lit up a light bulb for me. But
like, that's and I don't understand the war that's out here. It's like, it's not even between male and female no more. It's just really pride and ego. Yeah. It's so much pride and ego out here. And I try to save a lot of people, because it's really distracting us. Like, people don't understand. Like, I don't care about who you was in high school, who you was in college, what you alumni of, bro. What you doing today?
But even those people that you know, it's only for your area. You know what? Like, being
and now we can't realistic. Even say area is a stretch. No. It could be just the block. No. Just here. Just these code. 4 houses, right?
It's not even the area code. It's not even the neighboring state. It's not even an hour away, sweetheart. You're talking about a 10-mile radius.
Yeah, it's ugly out here. It's ugly out here. I don't know why pride and ego is on a pedestal as high as it is. I don't know.
I know why.
Talk to us.
Because people don't G-check people anymore.
I missed that word.
No, like, seriously.
I missed that word.
When it comes to holding people accountable, I ain't never seen a more scary, intimidated generation than I have today. People will literally have a whole cloak, shield, and phone to run behind. But in person is a whole different story. It's so much more harder to enforce a standard. Like, we haven't had a standard for years now.
That's a fact.
I think COVID took away the standard, because once everybody was home and people had to show what really went on behind the scenes in their house and who they were, everyone was on the same spectrum. There was no more celebrityism. There was no more leaderism. Damn. There was no more anything. You know what I mean? People had to come out as their true self. So that's why people feel the need to operate within ego and pride right now, because we've seen it all in their lives. They don't have nothing else to stand on. They standing on roaches. They got a roach train. They got a roach train leading them. You feel me? So it's like, we see that you just like us now. We ain't going to gas you up. We ain't going to give you more credit than what you just like us.
What a perspective.
It is. I'm serious. So now it's a lack of humility. Everybody thinks that they're on the same wavelength now. You can get to fame. You can get to notoriety so much quicker. overnight without even having to do nothing. Some people are getting it without even wanting it.
That's a fact.
You know?
And why I can't be one of them people.
I mean, shoot. Because the price that comes with it and how much you gotta sacrifice.
It's a lot.
We kiki about it, but when you finally
in them
get
shoes
there,
and you like, yo, you got a decision. Do you want to take $5 million or
this? And then your taxes go up, and then this go up. People start your clothes.
It's a whole.
It's a different level.
And I think I tell a lot of people, I'm ready for success. I just don't want what comes with it.
Yeah, no.
I don't. I just want to change lives. I just want to give them the information. I don't want a pedestal. I don't want a character. I don't want to be a face. No, I just want to say I gave to the game.
Yeah.
That's it.
But even when you giving, people will see you giving and be like, how you could give so much? Let me see what's in your pockets now.
Oh,
now all of a sudden you asking me to run my pockets because I just gave you an extra $2.
Right. Like what? That's crazy.
It's crazy. People are wild.
So being that boss, being that leader, like what's some of the complications and what's some of the blessings of it? Because I know it's a battleship with that too.
Yeah, I would like to say that my biggest challenge is just the imposter syndrome. Because I still see myself as this humble person, this small figure, like I'm just doing what I can type of thing. Yeah. So when people see me, they hear me, or people who thought that they knew me and see me now after some time, it's like, having the world understand, like, all right, I still look the same, but mentality wise, I'm much different. A lot of the things that used to get me going or how I used to act before is not the same as now. And just maintaining that and recognizing that in myself too. Because some of these mornings I'll be like, girl, what are you doing? People always ask me, they be like, how you do what you do? And you this, that, and the third. I'll be like, I'm just literally walking on faith.
Right.
Which is the size of a mustard seed right now. I can't tell you what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because God assigned me this task.
That's a fact.
I didn't ask for this. I didn't do anything. I woke up as a child, the farthest I could think back, and this was just my passion. I always loved cameras. I always had a thing for talking to people, and people always naturally gravitated towards me.
Dope.
Literally could be one of the people sitting in the park on a bench, and somebody would just choose my bench out of all the open benches and tell me their whole life story and tell me to watch their kids. Energy. I don't understand why.
Energy.
But it's just who I am. It's a part of my being. So that's one of my downfalls is imposter syndrome. But God will reveal to me who he sees me as. One of the biggest blessings overall, it's just honestly being able to be myself. I feel like in my early childhood development, I always felt like I had to be this, I had to be that, or just based off of others' expectations of me.
Right. And
now in this realistic sense, like I'm only 26, y'all. I just got to adulthood for real. I don't know what I'm doing. But one of the biggest things is just me to be able to be myself. Like at this time, I have people around me that reassure me and let me know that they're going through real shit too. So I can go through my real shit. Yeah. I could be there for people. I could be there for myself and just, keep giving. I'm a woman of service overall. Facts. So that's the best part about it is the service, being able to be there and actually educate our community about things that we may not know about.
I was literally going to say that answer. Like you stole the show with that one. Cause I was going to literally say being a master of my fate and just saying like, yo, I know what I'm in this for. I know exactly what I want to do and nothing's going to distract me. I think that's like one of the biggest blessings. And of course, just passing along this information. Passing along this inspiration. And it's just like, yo, it's so many people like me and I had trouble with belief. So I know it's people who have way less belief than I do. So I'm not saying I want to be the neighborhood hero. I don't want to be the neighborhood genius. I don't want to be none of that. But at the end of the day, I want to make it known that, yo, you are a light. You have a prize. And if you don't ever give it to the world, come on, how great are you? You know what I mean? So a lot of people got to get tested. So you got to talk like that. You got to pump fake with them sometimes. Like, yo, you ain't about to do this. And certain times you might have to build pride up or you might have to, get under their, skin a little bit. But I'd rather that and get you started than have you sit here and waste time and just waste life and thinking it's gonna all come to you by a scroll of a finger. It's not.
It's not.
It's not. We gotta work for this.
Yeah, even if society don't like it, the world don't like it, fuck it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not for it. You know,
Yeah.
your demographic, your audience, they gonna see you, your light, and what you saying, and they gonna feel you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody has their own niche, and it takes a minute to grow that niche into an audience, and then that audience to want to support you, and so on and so forth. Right. But once it starts going, it's hard to stop, you know?
That's a fact.
So for those who are out here saving everybody, you know, you need people to save you too, you know? But in order to get there, you have to value yourself first. You have to do what you want on yourself first in order for you to be able to give that to the world, you know?
Boss is more than a name, is more than a label.
Yeah.
It's more than a feeling.
Yeah.
It's more than a position. It's like literally, bro, like, I mean, but everybody has different, you know, beliefs and shit and things and definition of things. But like me, just a boss, like, yo, just making sure everybody after you is good. Like, not just helping you continue your legacy and continue, you know, strolling in money for you, but for them to be comfortable and to start something either after that or under that. And it's like, that's the beauty of a boss. And I think like, yo, none of us really doing nothing. Like, we in position, but we ain't really in position to do nothing.
The real position, from a societal view, is way different than what it is in a social perspective.
And I want more than block love. I want more than just love from my city. I want to be, and I'm not saying I want to be accepted by the world or just do all that, but I know it's just more than just the city, the block, the hood.
Yeah.
It's more than just a circle. It's like, yo, people feel this. So, like, why not keep putting these 2 feet on the ground and walking?
Yeah.
So, what's next for you? Like, what's going on? Any new events on the way? Anything you got cooking up now? Because I know it's always something going on.
There's so much going on. So, for those that are watching, y'all just got to stay tuned. I don't really give away the passcode to my safe earlier.
Come on. Like ooh.
So, for those that are in tune, you know, the more that you keep up and follow and subscribe, then you can stay up to date. But, you know, there's a lot of great things going on. A lot of great things. The most that I can say at this time is, you know, please do your research. You know, if there are certain things in your community that you are unsatisfied, figure it out. Figure it out by getting into the community, talking to the community, going to your community centers, you know, and everything, getting active, getting involved.
That's
like,
a fact.
People like to say, oh, I wish this could be better. I wish that. Well, come cook it then. Come cook it then.
Yeah.
You don't like the mac and cheese? Well, come make your own then.
Come on now. Show us something, please.
You know, it's getting to that time where we really got to start G-checking people, and that's just where I'm going with it. Either you can or you can't, and I'm not trying to hear you can't because I'm going to make you do it. So even if you don't do it the right way the first time, I'm just glad that you tried, put out some effort, and we're going to work on it the rest of the way. So that's what's coming up.
That's fire. That's fire, y'all. I'm still in that, by the way. I'm not giving away my passcode to my safe. That is hard. That is fire. I always ask my guests, what do they feel the world needs to hear right now? So can you give the world a gem to where it can be in any lane, as far as relationships, personal, business, whatever it is? What do you feel like the world need to hear right now?
If I had a megaphone to the world, I would encourage people to mind their business. Number one. And number two, no one is going to save you. So you have to be the first one to save yourself. And if you're not fully equipped to save yourself, then that's what you should be working on right now, today, this hour, this second, this minute. And don't ever fall back and give up on that, period. So that's just what Little Miss Jersey has to say. You know, I ain't going to get into the nitty gritty. But if y'all need me, I'm here. I'm proud of you, Gems.
Thank you so much.
Very, very proud of you. Your content always looks clean.
Thank you.
Keep going. And we're going to talk more after this. So, bye, y'all. Thank you for having me today, first and foremost. I appreciate it.
I'm honored, man. I told y'all new faces. I told y'all. And I didn't even announce this yet, so I'm going to drop this, as a surprise. So, we ain't even promote this or nothing. So, we just, this is going to be a treat. This is gonna be a nice treat. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And salute to the What's Up Wednesday team, your whole team. Salute to all of the new viewers that she's bringing in. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for taking a chance on this.
Subscribe, and support.
For sure. And follow everything she's doing. I'm gonna put the all her @names in the description and all that. So you'll be taken care of for sure. So like, comment, subscribe on this. Make sure you follow her, Little Miss Jersey. And she got the record to prove it, motherfucker. Yeah.